the mental self-awareness checklist. Today, we're excited to introduce you to it. We've done 2 other podcasts on this, and this is the 3rd one, and we're going to get into the mental aspect. But this self-awareness checklist, which, guys, is available for free online. This handy tool is designed to help leaders like you become more self-aware and ultimately more effective in your role when serving others. So to kick things off, we're going to explore the mental aspects of self-awareness and provide valuable tips for enhancing your overall mental well-being. Let's look at number 1. Here we go. Monitor your thought patterns. Observe the nature and frequency of your thoughts. They say that we have 40 to 70,000 thoughts, and 90% of them are negative. Constantly, all day long, little ants, I like it, a negative thought is just bombarding our brain, and our ego is just latching on to each one and then giving us these emotions and ideas. And we talked about this the first one, the emotional side of things. That emotion's not real. It's just evolutionary psychology. That's all it is. But what are the nature and frequency of your thoughts to better understand your mindset and identify areas for improvement? Reflect on your thought patterns regularly, because when you are like, hey, this is a pattern that I'm seeing regularly, then you're going to be able to know any reoccurring themes or concerns. You're going to be like, every time I approach this situation, just different non-player comes into the situation. You know, it's Susan, it's Bill, it's Jim, it's Teresa. It's so wild because I react the same way. My thought pattern goes this every single time. So know any reoccurring themes or concerns, and then consider keeping a thought journal. I've done this before to track your progress and gain deeper insight into your mental landscape. I want to know what's going on mentally. I want to know I've got a certain amount of real estate in my brain, that landscape. I want to know mentally what's going on. Next, identify cognitive distortions. Recognize unhelpful or irrational thought patterns, because they are patterns, guys. You're going to see this. When you're being irrational as a leader, you're going to see the triggers that's going to hit. And that's going to hinder your effectiveness as a leader. They're unhelpful. It's unhelpful to think narcissistic. That's an irrational thought, and it's not a real thought. It doesn't allow you to act in your higher self to be able to help others. Learn about common cognitive distortions, such as, here's a good one, all or nothing thinking. If you do this, then I'm going to do that. If you can't handle this, then I'm quitting. I'm firing. I'm that all or nothing thinking. Next one is catastrophizing, like, oh my God, it's the Titanic and it's the end of the world and we got to just shift chairs around, but everything's going under. And then another one is personalization. This is a big one where you become so narcissistic that every bad thing that happens, you have to lay claim to it. Not that you're taking responsibility for it, but that you're the victim of it. You can't take responsibility for something that you're a victim of. You have to take ownership, and then in that ownership becomes responsibility, and then in that, you can begin to change things. But a victim can't change anything. You're just a victim to the circumstances. So stop personalizing things. Challenge these distortions by seeking evidence that contradicts them, and then develop a more logical, balanced perspective. Next is practice mindfulness. I know this is hard. Eckhart Tolle tells us, but focus on the present moment and do it without judgment. When you begin to look at the present moment and just begin to be grateful, for me, it's practicing gratitude. If I want to pull myself in the present moment, I start practicing gratitude. I love the mountains. They're so beautiful. Look at why I'm driving right now. I had these negative thoughts. Those are not real. But what's real is how beautiful this mountain is. What's real is how blue the sky is. What's real is how amazing it is to work for the people that I do. And yes, they're humans, but every mistake is awesome because it gives us a chance as a team to grow closer together and to learn. And I just start rolling gratitude. Just roll gratitude. Gratitude will put you so quickly in the present moment and allow you to be able to stop judging, because you can't judge in gratitude, can you? You want to reduce stress? You want to increase self-awareness? You want to enhance emotional intelligence? I'm telling you, begin to start practicing gratitude. And then, not just inwardly, but outwardly, just walk up to somebody and say, thank you. I appreciate you. You're awesome. What you did the other day with this, and this was so perfect. I'm so thankful that you work for me. I'm so thankful that as a team that we can do this together. Just walk around and start being grateful for everyone and let them know. Incorporate mindfulness practices into your daily routine, such as meditation, mindful breathing. I shared with you guys the one the other day from Andrew Huberman. He talked about 2 quick breaths through the nose and then 1 long one out. Just that's scientifically proven to help your parasympathetic nervous system and balance. Another one I like to do besides mindful breathing is mindful walking. I love doing mindful walking, especially if I'm starting to feel stressed. I will leave the office and go for a walk around the block. And maybe I need to take a walk and do gratitude practices. Maybe I need to take a walk and say, why am I feeling this way towards this problem? Why does this problem seem like a 10 when I know that if I get the team together, we can solve it pretty quickly? Not I can solve it, but we're going to solve it together as a team. When you guys have problems, you need to bring them to your team. Get the whiteboard out and let's go. And let's together solve the problem. It is not your responsibility to solve every single damn thing. That's why you encourage your team to engage in mindfulness activities, to foster a more focused and compassionate work environment. I get this all the time. I'll have leaders come to me and they're like, hey, I'm going for a walk. I'll be right back. Perfect. I'll have leaders, if they're upset or something, I always say, hey, let's go for a walk and talk about it. Walking, guys, is huge. It's so helpful. And if you have an area where you can walk near your work and you're not using that daily, what a waste. You want to create a compassionate work environment? Start taking people for a walk and having conversations, especially if you're near a park and you can go for a walk around a park and then sit at a bench or a table out in the sun and have a conversation away from the office. If you've got a park within 5-10 minutes, you should be doing that with your employees. Next is set realistic goals. Establish achievable, clear, and measurable objectives that align with, number 1, your values, and then number 2, your priorities. Break larger goals into smaller, more manageable tasks, because this is going to help you maintain motivation. When you start clicking off that checklist of this goal's done, this task is done, we're at 40%. Oh, we're at 60%. Oh, we're at 80%. Oh, awesome. Linda just came into the office and said, Jason, we got this done and we got this done. So I'm just checking it off. I have a meter that I'll use a lot of times from 0% to 100%. And I put it on the big whiteboard on a project that we're working together as a team. And then the project leader or myself is allowed to adjust the meter. We're at 40%. And I want people to walk by and see that all the time. Regularly review and adjust your goals as needed. And you need together as a team to celebrate milestones. Celebrate them. Have pizza. Have fun time. Get Chick-fil-A, whatever it is. Celebrate your milestones. You can't afford that? Get some carrots and some ranch and have a celebration time. Celebrate your milestones and then learn from your setbacks. The minute that we have a major setback, guess what I'm doing? I'm pulling the team in and we're going to learn from it. Hey guys, we had this setback. Let's learn from it. Next, engage in mental stimulation. Challenge your mind with new activities. I did this one with jiu-jitsu. I suck at jiu-jitsu. It is so hard for me. Anything like puzzles, like where I got to put my leg here, put my arm here, go back here, all of that. But it challenges my mind to play chess. I'm the creative type, not the logical step-by-step type. But I need to challenge my mind more logically because I tend to be so right brain that I need to challenge my mind doing left brain activities, puzzles and stuff like that, whatever it is. Or learning experiences to promote cognitive flexibility and adaptability. This is what you want to do. You want to be able to get the mental aspects, because when you learn something new mentally, it's like, let me give you a hack for your dogs, because I love dogs. Buy mental puzzles online. On Amazon, they're inexpensive. They have level 1, level 2, level 3. If you kind of have a smart dog, start off with level 2. If your dog's kind of start off with level 1. And you put treats in there and they have to figure them out. If you let them work those puzzles for like 10, 15, 20 minutes, they will go to sleep for like an hour. It taxes them so much mentally in a good way that it wears them down physically. You've heard about chess players that'll lose 3,000 to 5,000 calories sitting playing a game. Our brain loves it. Our brain loves oils, like good oils, like fish oil and avocado oil and good olive oil. It loves that. And it also loves to be challenged. It loves to be challenged with new things, new activities, things that you're not good at, that you suck at. Purposely do those. Pursue hobbies or interests that require problem solving. If you're the logical type, do things that require creativity. Or even better, strategic thinking. Systems thinking. That stuff is so awesome, but do those in hobbies, things that you have to figure out. Encourage a culture of continuous learning within your team. Always offer training, guys. Offering training opportunities and supporting professional development. It's just not all about work. There has to be training with work. You want to see a prime example of this? Whether you're Republican or Democrat, it does not matter. We all agree that police departments need to take the time to allow their personnel to train. In the military, we train constantly. On the Marine Corps, we train constantly. Because when you're in a situation, you will always fall to the level of your training. So it is not a waste of time to have weekly training. If you can have daily training, do that. 10, 15, 20 minutes, and allow different people to train different people in different exercises. It's awesome. It will help support professional development. So let me close on this, guys. By following the tips outlined in this mental self-awareness checklist, you are going to be well on your way to becoming a more self-aware and effective leader. And remember, guys, the journey towards self-awareness is an ongoing learning process. So continue to practice every single day these techniques and remain open. Have an open mind. Stop being so closed. This is what we're seeing in the political landscape. Everybody's gotten so tribal and closed-minded. Be different. Have an open mind. Relax. And be sure, guys, to grab your free copy of the Mental Self-Aware Checklist online. And stay tuned. We're going to do a whole 5-part series on the Mental Self-Aware Checklist. This is just one part of it. We did the physical self-awareness checklist. We did that. And so now we're going to get into a little bit more of the spiritual side of things. So stay tuned for more insights on the Self-Aware Leadership Podcast.